What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a gift guide because it's that time of year. I like making these videos because it just helps me to think about some of the stuff that I've used the most. You know, this isn't gonna just be like how do you want to say, like a gratuitous link dump, if that makes sense. Now that being said, there will be affiliate links to all this stuff at the channel. Some of the stuff is actually from our website, so just being 100% transparent. But this has been stuff that I personally have gotten a lot of use out of this year and have been super into. Now, some of it came out this year, some of it I discovered this year, and some of it I started making this year. There's one thing that's not, but I used it a bunch. It's older, but we'll talk about that in a second. Most of it's going to be on the bench over, or on the bar over here. So I'm going to show you that. But there's one thing that isn't. So before we get into that, over here on the bench, I'll show you the one thing that isn't on the bench. Also, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. Most of the time on Mondays, we do kind of techie videos all about guitar stuff, and we have a couple of other live streams throughout the week. So you can check those out as well, a podcast and a Q&A and that kind of stuff if you're new to the channel. Also, if you're a guitar player, just give this video to somebody else, right? That might be getting you a gift. So whether that's your wife or your girlfriend or your somehow other significant other or your relative or whatever, or friend, and I'm going to show them what they should be buying you, or maybe you just want to buy this for yourself. So let's just jump straight into it. For those of you that are familiar with my channel, you know that I'm not a huge fan of hard cases for guitars. I like the more slender gig bag. It is my it's my feeling and my personal use case anyway that I don't tour, right? Most of us are not on tour loading up a boat of guitars or a bunch of guitars that go out, you know, for days and days and days on the road. Most of us play at home a bunch, right? And then maybe we'll go out to an open mic night, you know, on a random Friday night, take a guitar with us, plug it into a little amp, whatever. And this is the Gator Transit. And this thin, very nice bag is right around $100-ish, something like that. And it's awesome. It comes in a couple of different colors. The straps zip into the back of it. It's adjustable for different peg head sizes and etc. It's got some space for gear. I've used these a bunch. Here's the thing, in 2024, for those of you that are not familiar, or maybe you're buying this for a gift for somebody else, a lot of guitars don't come with cases anymore. And so it's nice to have something, even to just, you know, go to your friend's house, right? Yes, is this a hardcore, super heavy duty touring bag? No. But most of us don't need that. Most of us just need something to protect our guitar in the back seat of our car on the way somewhere, right? Like that's mostly what this is for. And it's actually, we ship guitars in these all the time. They're really, really nice. So anyway, they're not that expensive. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And this is the one thing that I couldn't fit on the bench over here. So let's go ahead and go over to kind of an overhead and we'll go to the rest of the stuff. All right, next on the list is going to be a guitar cable, because if you have a guitar and an amp, you're going to need a cable to plug it in. This is our signature cable with Runway audio. These cables are fantastic. They have the lowest picofarads per foot of any pretty much, you know, accessible cable. There's some really high-end multi-$100 ones that may be a little bit better, but not, you know, not any reasonable amount. So basically this is an incredible cable. It comes with this TechFlex stuff. They actually also have, I think they just started making a cable without the TechFlex, but this is our signature one. This is only available at Dylan Talks Tone. It's exclusive to our company colors. It's got our logo on one end and it's got Runway audios on the other end. They're available in a couple of different lengths. You can get 90-90, you can get straight, you can get straight 90. I think there's silent plug options as well. So basically the way this works is you order this cable from us on Dylan Talks Tone. I'll leave a link to it. And they manufacture it for you in Nashville, Tennessee. They're made in Nashville. And then they ship it straight to you. So you order it from me, but they ship it to you. And yeah, so it's a pretty cool thing. And then obviously there's also going to be a referral link to Runway Audio in general. They have a bunch of other stuff. They do patch cables. They build professional touring pedal boards. They do all kinds of stuff. And then they also have a bunch of other cables in a bunch of other colors. Like I have red ones and tan ones and blue ones and whatever else. But this is the Dylan Talks Tone exclusive cable. And I think you will dig it very, very much. The folks who already have one, jump in the comments and tell everybody how awesome these are, because they really, really are good. They lay flat on the floor. They don't tangle. They're easy to coil. They coil nice and clean, as you can tell. And you can run an amp caster over them and they don't crush the cable. You know, they're just really, really good cables. So there you go. All right, next on the list, this is the old one of these, but I use this a lot. This is the Fender Mustang Micro. Now they have the Fender Mustang Micro 2, which is a new one. For those of you that are just buying gifts for a guitar player, basically what this is, it's a little headphone amp. You plug this straight into the guitar, and then you plug a set of headphones into it, and it's got some amps and some EQ and some stuff on here. So if your guitar player friend is bothering you, they can plug into some headphones and play silently on the couch while you watch your movie, and it is amazing. The other thing I like to use this for is a lot of times I'll have a cheap set of earbuds with me in my pocket. I'll have this in my backpack, and if I'm going to Guitar Center or something to test, or any guitar store, I'll bring this to test a guitar with me. That way I have sounds that I'm familiar with that I've played at home. You know, yeah, it's no Kemper. It's not like a professional piece of equipment, but for a little practice thing, it's pretty awesome, and it's relatively inexpensive and easy to get a hold of. And it's just a nice little easy gift thing to have. You can put it in your pocket and have an amp with you wherever you go. And you can plug it into a computer and record with it, which is pretty cool too. All right, let's talk about guitar tools. So working on your guitar is a thing. You know, you're gonna be doing some stuff. You're gonna be adjusting some setup. You're gonna be doing some stuff. So StewMac, these tools are fantastic. They have warranties on them. And yeah, you can go, oh, I guess I'm missing one. There's a screwdriver that's supposed to go in here. I guess I should have prepared that better. Anyway, I use it all the time, obviously. There's a screwdriver that's supposed to go in here, and then there's another bit missing because I was adjusting the action on one of my guitars the other day. These are guitar-specific tools, and so a couple of these tools are very interesting. This tool right here is for adjusting screws on a humbucker, which is really cool because it doesn't slip off and scratch your humbucker. These are, they clean up the threads on kind of stripped out wood, more or less, for like tuners and pick guards and stuff. There's a 1/4 inch adapter here, so if you need to use a bigger socket, you're able to do that. And then all these things you can adjust, you know, Floyd Roses and do all kinds of stuff. Obviously you can see what tools are supposed to come in it in this little thing right here. I use this all the time, constantly. Obviously, because the last time I used it, I left the screwdriver on my desk and did not put it back in here. But it's a cool little tool set. It's something that you can get. Now, a lot of folks will say, well, I'm just going to go to Harbor Freight and, you know, assemble a bunch of tools together, but you won't have the guitar specific ones, and you'll probably spend just as much money because this thing's only like $40 or something, and it comes with all this stuff. And what I do is, like that little gig bag I just showed you, you just throw this in the pocket of the gig bag and you have your tools with you all the time. This might be the most expensive thing we have on the list today. This is also a StewMac tool. This is the StewMac Z file. For those of you that are getting into, or for those of you that know someone who is getting into guitar setups and a little bit more in-depth work on their guitar, this thing is awesome. What this does is you use this on your frets to re-crown frets. Without getting all off into the weeds, basically you run this over the top of the fret and it puts the crown back on the fret, but it does it in a different way than the conventional file. The shape of it, it's in the shape of a Z, and so you run it this way, and then you flip it over and run it this way, and what it ends with is a nice peak on the end of the fret. It's way more foolproof, quote. Now, of course, you can mess up anything, but it's way more foolproof than a normal crowning file, and it can be used on a wider variety. There's a couple different sizes, but each file can be used on a wider variety of fret sizes. And so this is the only one I have, and it can do all of the guitars that I own. And it is amazing. It's a little more spendy, but if you have 3 guitars that you want to do fretwork on, or 2 guitars that you want to do fretwork on, the time that you save with this will be worth the money that you pay for this tool. I will tell you that I can crown a fretboard in probably 10 minutes with this thing. Once it's been leveled, it takes me about 10 minutes or less to crown an entire fretboard with this file. And it's right every time. Yeah, this thing's really cool. Before you crown your frets, you have to level them. Before you level them, you have to make sure that your neck is straight. This is the Music Nomad straight edge. There are a bunch of straight edges that you can buy. It goes in a whole bunch of varieties of price points. I think this is somewhere around $40. It's got the 25.5-inch scale and a 24.75 scale and a 25 scale. So here's the interesting thing about this. You can use it on Gibsons, you can use it on Fenders, you can use it on PRSs, and it's perfectly straight because it looks, you know, basically being cut on a machine with a fly cutter. Some of the cheap ones that you get on Amazon are flat pieces of aluminum that are not always straight. I've bought a couple of them and tested them, and they have not been straight. I think for the money, you know, I've also used $150 straight edges, right? But this gets the job done for the hobbyist. If you don't want to invest in a $150 straight edge to do fretwork because you're not a professional, because you only have a couple of guitars and you're just a hobbyist, this does an excellent job. My only hang up with it is you just got to make sure that you don't scratch your fretboard all up because these are machined edges, right? So some of the more expensive ones have more machine time in them that make them a little nicer. But this is an excellent piece. It stays straight because it's a triangle of aluminum, so it does not bend. And as long as you don't drop it and ding up the edge or, you know, stuff like that, this will give you years of service doing various setup tasks for, I want to say $30 or $40. I can't remember. I'll leave a link to it in the description. I just got this off of Amazon, and it is absolutely awesome. Like I said, I've got some of the other cheaper ones, and they basically suck compared to this one. I just discovered this year. Finally, in the tools section, we've got the Stuart McDonald part number 1175. This is the fret end dressing file. Now, this is like $15-ish, something like that when it's not on sale, but it's on sale quite often. It has a lifetime warranty. When you wear it out or if you break it or whatever, they'll just give you a new one. You can go to Home Depot, you can go to Harbor Freight, and you can try to find a file that will work better than this one, but it will not, and here's why. The end finish that you want on the end of your frets is a lot finer and nicer than a lot of the cheap files at the aforementioned places will give you, because of the grit of this file is just right for nickel and stainless frets. The other thing is, you can see the end of this end of the file has a crown on it, like a radius on the end, right? And the other end is a square end. It's got like a hard spine on it. That's because there's a couple of different motions or actions that you use when you're doing fret end dressing, and you need different types of file ends. So having this hard edge to do one task and having this crowned edge to do the other task, it really, really comes in handy, and it makes the job a lot easier. Again, when you have the right tool with the right grit, sometimes it just makes all the difference in the world. For 15 bucks or whatever, I can do an entire fretboard end dressing in 10 or 15 minutes with this. And it doesn't chew anything up. It doesn't, when you use it properly, it doesn't ruin your fretboard or leave those little tracks next to the fret because you've got this crowned file. It works awesome. And again, it's the last one you'll ever buy because they lifetime warranty them. And so if you have a problem with it, you just get a new one. And StewMac is very, very good about that. So this is a cool little tool, and I think it's worth the 15 bucks that it costs. All right, so here's something near and dear to my heart. Obviously, pickups are cool, right? I make pickups for a living. That's what I do. DylanTalksTone.com, that's where you go to buy really good pickups. But one of the things that I've been having super amounts of fun with this year is I bought a couple of lasers, and I've been doing all this custom stuff, and it's just been so fun. So we have completed pickups. You know, we have our whole normal line of pickups, right? But then we've got these ones where we've added features. So this has a paisley pattern on it. So I think this is a Super 8 humbucker with a paisley pattern on it. And I think it's only $10 more or something to have these cool patterns. And then we have this here is camo. I did like a 3-tone black camo with black screws. Pretty kind of cool, pretty fun there. This is a P90 cover with like a topo pattern engraved in it, which is super neat. And then we also can do like the nickel covers, right? So we've got like a rifle filigree on a gloss. We do rifle filigree on matte. We could do all of these patterns on metal or on the plastic covers, which is kind of fun. This is one of my custom enduros actually that I made for my guitar. So this is a perloid top cover. And this actually isn't a cover. This is the bobbin. I actually cut the bobbin and made the bobbin out of this material. So then you have this perloid, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera there, but there's like a reliefed paisley pattern engraved into the perloid as well. So it's just super fun stuff. This is like really fun stuff. It makes your guitar one of a kind. It makes it to where you don't get lost on a stage, you know, like with everybody else. Or you could just buy regular pickups. But I'm just having a lot of fun with this stuff. I think it's neat. And if you have a design that you want on, we've done it for a few folks now. It's not expensive, maybe 20 bucks or something. If you send me a graphic that you want engraved, I could put a picture of your mom. We could put, I don't know, your dog, whatever. We could do lots of neat things. So if this is something that you want to do to personalize your guitar, it's something that you could do. Now, of course, this is probably, I should say this is probably, not that other file, the most expensive thing on the list, but it can be done on less expensive pickups. And actually right now we're having a Black Friday sale, so you can get some of this stuff for under 100 bucks. So anyway, check it out. I'll leave a link to that stuff as well. Of course, that's stuff that we make. Oops. And then, you know, there's just other stuff, personalized stuff that we've got on the website. We have this stuff in limited numbers. These are just guitar pick trays, Strat one, a Tele one, a Les Paul one. These are not super expensive, and they're actually on clearance right now, which is kind of neat. You know, not clearance, but Black Friday sale, which is kind of cool. We've got these bottle openers with Dylan Talks Tone on one side, and then it says just one more on the other. And I think we've got them in Tele. I think we've got them in Les Paul. We've got them in Strat. And a couple other things as well. We actually moved to a completely stainless version of these where we actually engrave all of this into the stainless instead of this vinyl stuff. So these are the last two we have in the vinyl. We did that because my daughter manages a restaurant and she's a bartender. And so I actually gave her some of these to test to make sure that we weren't just giving you some kind of crap that wouldn't actually work with our name on it. So my daughter actually bartends with the stainless version of these every day, and she loves it. So you're getting like a proper, just like an actual proper bottle opener there too. So some of that personalized stuff is kind of fun. So there you go. There's some of that stuff that I think is pretty fun. Some stuff that we're using, some stuff that we like around here, and stuff that we're actually getting like regular use out of. I believe in gifts that actually matter and that are actually thoughtful, and like, you know, you put something, you know, I think this person would really like this, but I have to like it first, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the thing. These are things that we've been excited about. I know this isn't the normal Dylan Talks Tone video, but I wanted to do it because I think, you know, it's important to do things for other people. So there you go. There'll be links to everything in the description. Those links will support the channel, whether you buy stuff from us or use the affiliate links for other products. And if you support those links, then you're supporting the channel. And it's not just guitar stuff. There's all kinds of other stuff, so you can check that out as well. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you in the next video.